Hey again, guys. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is combining like terms and distributive property. Hopefully this is a review. If not, um, go to refresher. So what we've got up first is we've got some vocabulary. And if this paper is not in front of you yet, we need to go ahead and get these papers passed out. So I'll pause. I'll make sure everybody's got a paper ready, pencil ready, and then we'll continue. So vocabulary up first, we've got variable. Variables are going to be letters, so this should be going in the blank, that are used in math expressions and equations. If we look at this example down below, this is not a trick question, so think about what variable is being used. Yeah, the variable being used is going to be x, okay, because that's the letter. Perfect, done. Let's move on. Up next, terms. So these could be just numbers, so that should be going in your blank. They could be variables. We'll go back and dot the I. Or the product of numbers and variables. So we've got some different options when it comes to terms. We're going to attempt to circle terms. So one term I need to highlight. So 6 is a term. And then positive x is a term. And positive 3x is a term because we want to make sure we're being careful of those signs. And this positive 5x squared is a term. So we've got numbers, we've got variables, and we've got numbers and variables together. Ultimately, terms are broken up by plus or minus signs. Coefficient, that is a number, and I want you to go ahead and underline that. Okay, coefficient is just a number that is multiplied. So this should be going down on your paper by a variable. So the coefficients in this example, not 6 because there's no variable with it. So we've got a coefficient of 5, positive 5, you're right, let's include the sign. We've got a coefficient of positive 3 because it's with the x. And then there's actually one more coefficient that we still have. Think about what else it is. If you were thinking 1, you're right, because we can put a 1 in front of that x. And so my coefficients here are that imaginary plus 1, positive 5, and positive 3. Constant is going to be a term without a variable. Fill that in the blank for me. Look at this example again. So what is the only term that doesn't have a variable with it? You're right, that's going to be the 6. So this is my constant because it has no letter. Everything else has a letter with it. Like terms, those are going to be terms with the same variable raised to the same power. Now, another word for power that we've already talked about today is exponent. So if you want to cross off the word power and put down exponent, you can do that. But both things have to be the same. So let's take a look at the example again. What are some like terms that we have here? What has the same variable and the same power or exponent? Hopefully you're thinking this positive x and this positive 3x. Same variable x, and they have the same exponent. 5x squared, that's a different exponent, so that's not included. Now that you've seen all the vocab words, so now I want you to try it. There are 4 questions that I want you to answer. New example, what are the terms, the like terms, the coefficients, and the constants in this expression? Go ahead, pause the video, you guys try it, then we'll come back and we'll check. All right, let's see how we did. So for terms, we should have 5, 6n squared, that's a messed up 2, 7n, negative 4, and n squared. All of those are terms. The like term, so what has the same powers and the same exponent? So I've got 6n squared with n squared, and then we actually have another set. 5 and -4 are also like terms because they have no variable with it. They're just a constant. It doesn't matter that one's positive and one's negative. They don't have a variable that makes them like terms. So let's go ahead, let's fill it in. So for constants, we've got 5 and -4 because those are my terms without a variable. Coefficients. So how many of you had 6, 7, and then guys, we also need a 1 for that n squared. Now, pay close attention. Just because I'm not there doesn't mean I will hunt you down later. Notice I didn't write my variables down. We said that coefficient was just a number. If you have 6n squared, 7n, and n squared written down, those are all wrong. It should just be the numbers. I don't want the variable with it, so something to be careful of. All right, now we're gonna put that vocab together. So we wanna go ahead, we wanna simplify, we wanna combine like terms. And guys, here's the deal. Since you have multiple problems in front of you, if you remember how to do this, you have permission right now to work ahead on your own and try to answer questions. All I ask is that you tune back in when answers go up to make sure that we're on the same page. If you need a refresher, we're gonna go through a couple of examples together, and then I'm gonna have you guys try some on your own. Again, this is just like how I would do it in class. So if we take a look at the first one, like terms. So I need same variable and I need same exponent. So taking a look, I've got 8n to the third, and I have a negative 2n to the third. Same exponent, same variable. Let's go ahead, let's put it together. Now watch your signs. This is a -2 and a +8. So 8 minus 2 gets me 6n to the third. And if you want to, let's go ahead, let's cross these out because we've already used them. Okay, make these marks on your paper. -3n and -2n. Same variable, same exponent. Let's put them together. Use a calculator. Double check, guys. -3 minus 2 is -5. Take a look at your answer. N to the third and n, those are not like terms. They have different exponents. That's it. We're done. Leave your answer like that. Let's take a look at number 2, those of you that are staying with me. It's not always going to be x's. Okay, so number 2, I've got 6y minus 5 minus y plus 9. What are some like terms? Think about it. Hopefully you're thinking, hey, 6y and -y, those can go together. If you need to, put that imaginary 1 there. 6 minus 1 gets me to 5y. And I'm going to go ahead and cross these out because I'm done with them. So -5 plus 9. What's that vocab word again if it doesn't have a variable? Hopefully you're thinking constant, okay? -5 plus 9 is going to get me to a +4. There's my answer. I'm done. I'm going to go out of order. So if you're staying with me, we're actually going to take a look at number 6 next. Okay, number 6, take a look at it. Think about what are the like terms? What has the same variable and the same exponents? Hopefully you're seeing we've got y to the third here and y to the third here. Let's put those together. 7 plus 5 gets me to 12y to the third. Let's see if we can put anything else together. Y, constant. Let's put the y's together. Oh, let's go to IUC, so I'm going to cross them out so that way I don't use them again. Okay, so I can put my y's together. -3 minus 2 is -5y. I'm going to go ahead and cross these off. I can't put my +7, my constant, with anything else, but it is still part of my final answer, so it needs to go down there. You've seen 3. I want you to go ahead and try the other 5 that are there. If you get stuck, look at your other examples. Good luck. I know you guys got this. Couple minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll check answers. All right, 3 was kind of tricky. Here are my like terms. 5 minus 5, guys, that's 0. Not an x, just 0. -2 plus 6 is 4. Your answer for number 3 should just be +4. Your answer for 4, when we put together our like terms, we've got 9y plus 9. For 5, you should have 4x squared plus 6x plus 5. I'll give you a second to check. On 7, you should have 3x squared plus 15x plus 9. I'll give you a second to check. And then for 8, I know there's a lot to look at. When you put your like terms together, you should end up with 3x squared minus 2x plus 6. If you went ahead and did the challenge, really it's just big numbers. But that answer I have as 65x squared plus 656x. So that's going to be combining like terms. We've got one other thing that we're going to talk about, and then that's going to be it for today. You're going to be done seeing my face. Try to hold back your excitement. Periodically, I'll have you guys skip stuff on the notes. Guess what? We're going to go ahead and kind of just skip this definition, and I'm going to show you what distributive property looks like. So if you remember, by all means, go ahead. Okay, be careful to watch your signs. So distributive property, guys, remember that means if there's a number outside parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and multiply that to everything inside. So a lot of you draw your arrows. I know I do that. 7 times 2x is going to get me to 14x. I'll give you a second to write that down. And then 7 times a positive 5 is positive 35. This has an x. This is just a constant, no variable. I cannot put those two terms together. I am done. That is my final answer. Okay. On the second one, we've got a negative outside. If you need to, put that imaginary 1, guys. Okay, so this is really -1 times the quantity 9x plus 2. We're going to distribute that -1 to everything inside. -1 times 9x is going to be -9x. -1 times 2 is going to be -2. Those are not like terms. I cannot put them together. That is my final answer. Okay. Again, I'm going to go out of order, so I'm going to skip down to number 6 again. So for number 6, use the number right outside the parentheses. -5 times -2x is a positive 10x. -5 times a positive 4, draw those arrows if you need to, guys, is going to be -20. Drop down this -6x. It's still a part of the problem. We need to deal with it. So look at this answer. Do we have any like terms that we can put together? Hopefully you're saying yes. We've got a 10x and a -6x. Let's go ahead. Let's put those together. 10 minus 6 gets me to 4x, and then I still have -20. Okay. So I'll do one more, and then I want you guys to try. Let's see here. So taking a look, I'm going to go back up to 3. So let's distribute that number that's right outside the parentheses. -5 times 4x would be -20x. Make sure that's going down on your paper. -5 times, this is a -3. Remember, we're looking at the sign in front. So a negative times a negative turns this into a positive. You have 5 that I want you to try, so take about 4 or 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll come back and we'll check answers. Good luck. I know you guys got this. All right, your answer for 4 should end up being, your final answer should end up being 2x plus 12. Number 5, your final answer should end up being 6x minus 9 plus 8y. Guys, different variables. Do not put those together. X's and y's are different. Number 7, when you distribute, you should end up with negative 14x minus 28y minus 5y plus 3x. Ooh. Putting together those like terms, then you should end up with negative 11x minus 33y. This is a messed up looking x. Hopefully yours looks a lot better. On 8, a little different. Guys, this 3 is what's going to get distributed because that's what's right next to the parentheses. So we'll have 5x plus 18x minus 21. And then we do want to go ahead and we want to combine like terms. So we would end up with 20x, not 20, that's definitely an 18. So how about a 23x instead? I was just testing you guys. Good job at having the right answer. Okay. And on 9, we're going to distribute that negative 4 to everything that's inside the parentheses. So we end up with 2y minus 12y plus 32 plus 10. Give you a second to write that down or check your answers. Combine like terms, then we get negative 10y plus 42 for a final answer. Guys, make sure you have these examples down. This is what your homework is on tonight. Here's the deal. When you have all of these notes filled out, then you can receive the homework for tonight. When you are done with the homework, hang on to it until next class, okay? You guys have this. If you have questions that can't get answered in class, then feel free to shoot me a Schoology message and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, okay? You guys have this though. Use your notes. Good luck.